Hey guys, so this week I have the the video that was supposed to go up last week, and I explained in my last video that I wasn't able to upload it because Lightworks quit working for me, and I didn't really want to have to use Windows Media Maker, and I wanted to purchase some different editing software, but it was all really bad timing because there's other things I've been having to put out money for, and editing software is kind of like last on the priority list. So I do still plan on getting it soon, as soon as possible, but hopefully you still enjoy the video despite the worst quality. Another thing that, speaking of quality though, I do want to bring up the quality of my channel in general. Like, I mean, I'm filming on a potato. I do plan on getting a new camera at some point as well, but, you know, this stuff costs, so. And I've been putting money into, like, you know, getting my online store up and running and other things, so, yeah. Just bad timing and stuff. So, no, it wouldn't have been last week. It would have been the week before. I was trying to come up with some concepts of what to do, and at that time, I was working on both this and the Art Addicts Alliance picture at the same time because I thought they were going to go up in the same week. And I sat down and I was trying to figure out some stuff to do, and I really didn't know. And you guys know that I really like to make drawings that kind of have a bit of a story to it, like, you know, something a little bit more full. So the idea I basically came up with was this robot basically dying after a like a showdown kind of thing. That's what was in my head, and I was trying to put that idea across by like having a crowd around, and, you know, the gun, and obviously the body that's in the foreground. And I really liked the idea in my sketchbook. I thought it seemed a little bit different than something maybe I'd normally draw. Also, it's kind of unintentional, but I realize he kind of looks like the guy in my steampunk drawing that I did back in August, I think. It was completely unintentional, but I realized he looks a lot like him. I guess maybe that's just sort of my idea of of a not post-apocalyptic, sorry. A sort of steampunk character, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that was what I was even going for here too, was kind of like a steampunk western kind of thing. That's the setting I had in mind. So I had a lot of problems with this. This was like endless problems. So the first thing was, whenever I was sketching this out, I thought that I had them too low on the page, and so I attached like another sheet of paper to it to kind of extend out to it, and I would adjust my cardstock whenever I would transfer it over accordingly. And so I do that, and once I finished inking it and I took it off the light box, I was like, oh my god, this looks awful. They were too high up on the page. It looked really weird. It just looked like they were kind of floating because they were up so high, and they weren't like in the middle, like kind of focal point kind of thing. So I had to ink it again, but I was out of cardstock. So I was looking through my drawer to see if I had any cardstock that I could maybe like use the back of, because I knew I had some mess ups that were pretty small, that it wouldn't affect me inking with a light box. And I did find one, well, actually, I think it was one of the other attempts at this that ended up being Yeah. So, that was one thing, and, then whenever it came to the coloring, I just basically panicked the entire time. I don't even know. I've said this before, where sometimes I'll, like, get nervous about a piece and I'll try to save it before it really needs to be saved, which is kind of what ended up happening here. Just the whole time I had no idea what I was doing, and I just worried how it was going to turn out the entire time and stuff like that. And I had to take several breaks to keep working on it. It was one of those things where, like, I kind of couldn't keep away from it, but I also kept having to take breaks from it. Yeah, like, the ground especially, I kept feeling like I really failed on the ground. Looking at all of it now, looking at it all finished, I think it looks just fine, actually, but it might not be perfect. Like, I think maybe the lighting, again, could have been a little bit more dramatic and helped told the story a little bit better, but just in general, it doesn't look that bad. At least the characters really stand out against the background. And in my mind, whenever I was imagining this, I wanted to make the bystanders, like, just use a mid-tone brown and a slightly darker brown, just to give a little bit of variation. Use that color on them, because I didn't really want a whole bunch of color to accidentally be bringing in a lot of attention to them. So at least it ended up working, but for a while I didn't think it was going to. I didn't think that using those colors were going to really work, especially since there'd be so much brown in the piece. I think I've said this before as well, but I always get really nervous whenever there's a lot of earth tones in a piece. I don't know why, but it always tends to make me nervous. Although I think that the girl here, kind of stands out a little bit more what he does, because he has more brown on him and she's got this bright red hair. But yeah, I don't know. It was one of those things, though, where whenever I was just drawing it, it just kind of ended up working out. Kind of how I wanted, is my point. Like, from a, like, telling the story kind of emotion kind of thing. Because, like I said, it's a little bit different than what I would maybe otherwise draw, but it kept me interested for that. Like, I'm talking about the sketching portion, but it kept me interested on that note, because I get bored pretty easy with subjects, and I feel like I need to change up what I do, at least as far as, like, what I draw kind of often. It's kind of funny. I'm sorry, I know I'm rambling. That I think I tend to worry a little bit more about keeping my content varied in terms of what I draw, more than probably what my audience even cares. Like, no, I gotta keep my fan art spaced out, gotta keep, like, art of my characters spread out, gotta keep all my art spread out, but probably in reality, my audience doesn't even really care. Like, you guys probably don't even really care as much as I care about keeping my content kind of varied. Yeah. Whenever I drew the kid in the background, I wanted more attention brought to him, so I was going to not do the whole giving him 2 different tones of tan thing, because I wanted him to kind of stand out, that he was maybe he's even the main girl's brother here. That's what I was even thinking. That's even another reason why I made his hair red. But it's kind of like instant regret, because I thought it made him actually stand out a little too much. But I tried kind of dulling it down with a brown. I don't know. I don't think it looks awful, but maybe I should have used a different color. I don't know. Yeah, and also I know that gun is not following the perspective of the rest of the picture. But yeah, like I said, in the end, I don't think it turned out too bad. Also, I just want to mention that, in case you didn't see my last video, there's a huge art raffle going on, and I'm offering, 3 prize packs of a couple prints and a sticker and a button, and, it's to help raise money for, Dory from Dory Stories surgery, in case you haven't heard about it. And I just want to, like, either remind you guys or let you know, if you haven't heard already, that, you know, there's an art raffle and I'm doing it with some other great artists, the other Art Addicts Alliance members. And I'll leave a link to the fundraiser, but it's $5 for a raffle entry. And you have to make sure that you complete the Google form to make sure you're entered in. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know in case you hadn't heard, or you maybe forgot or something. I don't know. But yeah. So that kind of just about wraps it up for me. I hope you enjoy this, despite all this sort of negativity. I don't know. Am I too negative in my videos? Sometimes I feel like I'm really negative in my videos. Like, oh yes, there was all these issues with this. Oh, the torture I went through. Oh god. Okay. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this anyway, and I'll see you in the next video. I think that I'm going to do not a sketchbook tour, but like a me drawing in my sketchbook kind of video next, because May We Draw dailies going on, and I thought it might be a nice change of pace on my channel, so that might be coming up next. Yeah. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.